we got for review here is a new Hendrix player stave snare drum. This is a 6.5x14 rock maple. It's a thick, half-inch thick maple shell. Stave, no re-rings. This is different than Hendrix's Archetype series, which has a thin half-inch stave shell with some re-rings kind of carved into the shell itself. This is a straight wall, half-inch thick of maple. And this is the flat black version. They also offer a natural version. There are 3 sizes. There's a 5.5x14. There's this, the 6.5x14. There's also a big 8x14. This is designed for cut and projection and power. They call it the player stave because it's designed for playing live, playing in situations when you need the snare to really cut through. So you'll hear that in the demo, but let's go over the other features first. Comes with Hendrix's standard really good quality single point lugs, which has minimal contact to the shell. Also comes with S-hoops, which if you haven't seen S-hoops, these are different than your traditional triple flange steel. The upper flange bends inward and it's flattened. So then it just makes your rim shots a little bit denser, thicker sounding. It also controls some of the tone, and it doesn't chop through your sticks quite as much as a die cast or a triple flange will. Just kind of like pushes the wood rather than chips away at it. Something to consider. Also comes with Fat Cat snare wires, which are really cool. The center portion of these have a tension screw, so you can get the snares nice and tight and crisp, and then just back off the screw here, which loosens up the center wires just a bit to give it a little bit more sizzle without it becoming too rattly. Nice cool feature. What else do they include? Heads. This is a Remo coated CS black dot, which is a single ply coated head with a black dot on the underside. Great choice for maintaining a nice open, bright, sensitive sound, but with a little bit of overtone control plus a little extra durability. This is a favorite for mine for live and the studio. It's a great all-purpose snare drum head. Bottom is a standard Ambassador snare. The strainer. This is a big difference from the Archetype, Hendrix's Archetype. So this is a indie throw-off, which is just a simpler design. Just real simple lever, off and on. I noticed the thumb screw is a little bit tight to adjust, which made it hard to do any kind of changes like mid-song. Maybe that'll loosen up over time, but it's a real stable, simple throw-off. Again, minimal contact on the shell. And this helps bring the price down a little bit more as opposed to the multi-step that they use on the higher-end Archetype. What else do we need to talk about here? Well, let's not talk about it. Let's hear it, shall we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this drum in a kind of a rock, heavy backbeat sort of style, because I think that's what it's mostly designed for, with some ghost notes and some rolls and stuff, so you can kind of hear the sensitivity. I'm going to start with the batter head tuned about as high as it can go. I had the lug tension all the way up to an F sharp, and then I just back it down a quarter turn, each lug, play again, and you'll hear how versatile it is, how controlled it is, surprisingly. A lot of power, but also a nice focused, dense tone, which again, microphones, especially in clubs, will appreciate the lack of, just constant ringiness. I didn't need to dampen it at all, which was very cool. I liked it tuned really high. I liked it tuned medium high. In the middle, it kind of found like a sweet spot for me that had some low end punch, but still had some crispy high end. That was my favorite, but you could also detune it and get a real fat sound. This could be a workhorse for live applications and possibly in the studio too, if you need a drum that just cuts through nice and clean and dense. So let's hear this thing, shall we? So again, that is the Hendrix 6.5x14 player stave rock maple snare. We got the flat black one. There's also a natural maple. I forgot to point out that these sleeve washers are also included, which are plastic washers that they actually extend between the top of the tension rod and to the little bit underneath the underside of the hoop. So you're not getting any kind of metal on metal grinding at all. They also help hold the tension. I didn't experience any detuning during this demo except for when I did it manually. So these will help hold tension. So again, if you're looking for a really good quality live application snare drum, very powerful, very sensitive, a lot of projection and warmth, check out these player staves. Depending on the 6.5 is just a good all-around size. If you need something shallower, there's a 5.5x14. If you need something big and super beefy, there's an 8x14. Yeah, so that's it for now, and we'll see you in the next review.